Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another broadcast. Compliments of Joe Donahue. Tonight we are broadcasting OSRL in their 10th season anniversary, in their 7th race of this season, the Princeton Drugstore 150. We are live from the virtual Richmond Raceway in virtual Richmond, Virginia, for virtual racing on Virtual Racing Night here on the Joe Donahue YouTube channel, bringing you 150 laps around this wonderful racetrack. I'm alone in the booth tonight, but that's okay. We've got a star-studded, packed field of drivers ready to take on Richmond Raceway for this 150-lap race. You can see they're wrapping up practice now. Chris Downey in this High Rock number 75 car comes across the line. Here he is fastest thus far. And we skip over to give everybody 2 laps around the racetrack for qualifying. I'm going to leave the screen up the way it is here as the session flips over. And we get ready to go. So we are running the 2003 NASCAR stock cars here in iRacing for this season, the premier series of OSRL in their 10th season running, and 150 laps around for race number 7. Last time out in race number 6, I went to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Championship leader Joshua Chin took the checkered flag first there, and very stubbornly holds the race, or holds the season championship lead. 4 out of 6 races have been victories for Josh Chin. Watching Chris Downey run around the racetrack here. Fastest in practice onto the front stretch, which is not really a straightaway. And back around again. Downey only goes to 5th on the board as Jack Painter has gone fastest, and Mo Perry jumps up to 2nd place. Mo Perry running a throwback to the Mike Skinner, number 31, which was run at Twin Ring Motegi. Excuse me. And Mo off of the 4th turn again. Mo was complaining coming into this one about the lockup of the brakes in this car. As you can see, getting a little loose there into the corner on the cool-down lap for Mo Perry. Not at the top anymore. Jacob Wilkerson in the 43 machine has gone to the top, and Kendall Carpenter, the inverted Tony Stewart Home Depot car, to 3rd place as the field continues to tick through, and we get more and more drivers out on the racetrack to put up their qualifying times. Another throwback here is Noah Carmichael in the Peak number 32, screaming down into the first corner in his first timed lap. And Mr. Carmichael is actually carrying the Peak on board for us tonight. So we'll go on board with Noah as we come through the second set of corners. Back out onto the straight for the front stretch here. 22.310. Jumps to 14th in the grid as it stands. And it's coming back down into turn 3 again. Going to dive into the corner low and try to ride out as the radius of the turn extends. Carried the momentum. And on lap number 2, Noah improves, and improves up to 13th as it currently stands. Yes, this is still happening. Let's go move on here. Steven Gibson out on track, the FedEx sponsor, number 21. Just running through as everybody puts up lap times. All of the drivers are putting in qualifying times simultaneously, but within iRacing they are being given the space and track to themselves. So number 21 car, back up and at it. All the way up the racetrack. Drivers were talking before the race about how over the course of time with this track tonight, you can expect to see people moving up to the top of the racetrack as it kind of works itself in, but we'll start at the bottom. The Rexford Engineering number 30 showing us the way out of turn number 2. This is Corey Rexford. And there's that sort of middle line, actually, for the 30 car. Loose out of turn number 4. Not going to help the lap time, and Corey's first lap does 22nd. Or sorry, that was a second. couple drivers not getting lap times up on the board. Jonathan Oates being one of them. John Felber came out onto the racetrack here and now sends it back. Only drivers still on the track are the number 21 car of Stephen Gibson and the number 31 of Mo Perry, just getting some practice laps in. No one man should have all that power. 44 seconds left, really not enough time for anybody to come out and get those last runs in. It is in the welcome. And qualifying will pretty much be guaranteed to come to a close here. John Felber is actually out on the racetrack, so we will get to see one more go at this. Or maybe two, actually. Gavin Newton's out there as well. So the 0-3 car comes across the line. Not terrible, not great. 19th fastest for John Felber. And Gavin Newton in the Jimmy Johnson number 48 Lowe's car. That's the last one. Very nice. That means now it's time to jump to the starting grid as the drivers will prepare themselves for 150 laps around this racetrack. Yeah. So excited. Here we are for OSRL. Race 7 of their season. 4 of 6 for Josh Chin coming into this. All right. Well, so these graphics you're seeing on the stream here, they are... We sort of didn't go through quite a full run through of the setup, so they should work, but it seems like the starting grid is not actually cooperating. So we're only getting the 5 out on the track at some point in time. That's tough. Well, that's okay. We can do this manually. Unfortunate. Yeah, I'll have to get that fixed up. So, sneaking up into pole position by the end of qualifying was number 93 of Joshua Chin. So 4 for 6 and looking for a little bit more. Very easily could do so. Starting to the outside of the 93 will be the 6.7 Nate Stewart driving a Simrap Market car. It looks like a Dale Jr. machine. Jacob Wilkerson in car number 43, EPI on the hood, will go from third place with Mo Perry in the number 31 to the outside. Kendall Carpenter running the inverted, I had this diecast when I was little, inverted Tony Stewart 2004 Home Depot machine will go from the inside of row number 3, and the Brit Harry Grindell in car number 70 will go from the outside of that row. Row number 4, on the inside, you've got the High Rock number 75 of Chris Downey with Cole Freilich in the Budweiser number 15 on the outside. They call Cole the Madman. He is the presenting sponsor of this race. So going back to row number 5, starting in 9th place, the ReZero number 79 is William Schmidt with the number 97 of Jack Painter to the outside. Jack Painter, one of the Noble 5 in this race. We'll come back to that. Brett Bennett in car 06, the Mobile 1, Jasper Transmissions machine on the inside of row number 6. And then starting 12th on his outside will be the 49. This is Chris Pervalarkis. Pervalarkis in 12th. Griffin Jones, car number 66. This is a throwback to when we went to Japan for the first time with NASCAR. We'll be running the Ford Taurus off the inside of row 7. And starting 14th, not quite up on the grid, is the number 52 of Nolan Sanford. The 02, with red and black on the sides, yellow numbers, of John Daniels will go from 15th, and on his outside in the Peak number 32 car is Noah Carmichael. The Xerox number 7 of Levi Wolf will go to the inside of row number 9. Emery Spence in the Air Jordan number 12, you can see here in light blue and black, starting in 18th on the grid. John Felber in the 03, very colorful, the Tutti Frutti machine will go from 19th on the grid. And the Necco Designs number 17 on the outside is a Ford. That's Ruby Estes. Going from 21st on the grid in the Viagra number 9 is Spencer Ray, throwing it back to Mark Martin. And Isaac Johnson, the Johnson Racing Industries Slipstream Designs number 33 will go from 22nd on the grid. Nice little blue font on the 33s. Rolling back to row number 12 on the inside, Corey Rexford representing New England with the Rexford Engineering Chevrolet Apex Action Racing Photography on there as well. And to his outside, driving car number 4, a throwback to the Morgan Shepherd Remington Firearms machine. This is Adam Harrington. Michael Deitch in the Papyrus Racing throwback to the NR 2003 car with iRacing on the hood and the sides. This is Michael Deitch in the 57 machine. And then Andreas Varas in the CarQuest number 84, the Kyle Busch machine. He will roll from 26th on the grid. Jonathan Oates, the OSRL house car, at least we're going to call it the house car, running a Steve Park tribute back to the Pennzoil car, one of my personal favorites growing up. Jonathan Oates goes from 27th on the grid. Braden Movick in the white and purple number 42 will go from 28th on the outside. The Canadian, the import, car number 17, Nathan Kiani, he will roll from 29th on the grid. Gavin Newton will go from 30th in the 48 machine, the Lowe's sponsored Jimmy Johnson throwback. And then on row number 36 to 16, there are a lot of race cars in this one. Steven Gibson in the FedEx Kinko's number 21 and 32nd on the grid. It's going to be labeled as the 122 machine. You'll see it as the 22 with Apex Action Racing Photography on the hood and on the side throughout the night. Shane Sweeney rides shotgun on the field. So there's literally so many cars that some of them come in and out as we move throughout the field. iRacing's not even loading them all in. And the pace truck will roll off for us as the Target-inspired paint scheme on the number 93 car will take us out onto the racetrack. We're going to take a quick look at the 6767 SimWrap Markets number 67. Nate Stewart is one of the Noble 5 in this race. And to call out what that means for all of you, based off of the final order of the drivers from the last race out, the number 67 car alongside Jack Painter, alongside Kendall Carpenter, Joshua Chin, and of course Nate Stewart driving this car. They are labeled by a red spoiler and a red rooftop number, are up for, if they win, a bonus $25 payday. So those 5 drivers are going to be the ones to watch at the end of this 150 laps to see who is going to see if they can get that extra little bit of cash. That is credit to Nathan Kiani putting up that money. Kiani is Canadian, though, so there's actually a fee imposed on that. So $25 to them, $40 out of his pocket. I don't remember. I don't even know how international business works to tell you where that money goes. But tough break. There's also the conversion factor because the U.S. dollar and Canadian dollar are fluctuating in value compared to each other lately. So we did our install lap through the pits. Everybody's getting lined up here and getting ready for the green flag to drop on 150 laps around Richmond Raceway. Joshua Chin, the championship leader, the heavy favorite, leading back in. And Corey Rexford is both driving and watching the stream. That's crazy. Shout out to Corey Rexford. Let's put Corey back up on the screen here, the Rexford Engineering. Number 30, you see riding on the inside of the Remington, that green car, Morgan Shepherd throwback, riding behind a Mark Martin throwback. And actually, funny enough, we can talk about Corey Rexford as the driver holding the Check It for Andretti on board tonight. So we will come back to this because we definitely don't want to be in there for the start of this race. As the green flag comes out, Josh Shin leads us down, and we've got 150 laps around this bad joint to get racing and see what happens coming through the first set of corners. Oh, Nate Stewart got all squirreled up and into the wall. Nate Stewart from second down to, where are we at here, 18th. What is going on with this number 67 car? Man. And we got a whole bunch of problems going on back there as Joshua Chin leads the way through the third and fourth turn again. And back to the stripe already, 3 laps into this one. Josh Chin over Jacob Wilkerson and Kendall Carpenter. Carpenter moving up in the number 20 machine, currently sitting at the high point of the Noble 5. However, third place is not going to get you $15, or 25, excuse me. Tariffs, I guess. So, Josh Chin, early lead, about almost a second now already over Jacob Wilkerson in the 43 car. Looking good so far. Just got to get through the first couple laps of this race and try to stay out of trouble. This is a tire-saving game tonight for these drivers. We're talking about keeping the tires underneath them throughout the whole running of 150 laps around this racetrack, and the big thing is to try to keep them underneath so you don't fall back through the field, which we already saw happen to the driver who started on the outside of the front row. Just dropped all the way back. Into the wall there. Look out, Noah Carmichael. A little bit of contact with Griffin Jones there. Nate Stewart right beside him in 15th. Oh! Noah in contact. And Griffin Jones saved it. Come on. There you go. Griffin Jones saved it off that contact for 3 wide behind him. There's plenty of race cars out on this racetrack right now. Oh, big hit into the wall for the 03 car right there. John Felber just come out of the corner a little bit tight, slid up into the wall. See Harry Grindell here. Grindell in 5th place. Josh Chin still holding an easy lead. And back to Chin. The only car with no extra race car noise around them on this racetrack right now is the leader, the number 93 car. And let's check in behind a little bit. Kendall Carpenter there in the 20, and we have a yellow flag. Something's happened here. Caution on the racetrack. Braden Movick, I think, is involved in this one. We'll have to see about this. I think maybe Andreas Varis involved as well. Let's go backwards a little bit here, see if we can find something. Yep, so Varis is going to be involved. Coming out of turn number 2, you're seeing the replay here on your screen. Wiggle out of the 84 and then disappears from us. We're going to hold here and see what comes up when we come back. I don't think we're going to get it. There it is. All right. Well, unfortunately for us, what happened there was unrendered by iRacing, but Andreas Varis just goes around. Appears to be on his own. Got a little bit of a wiggle out of the corner. A little bit of damage on the back of the 84. You can see it on the quarter panel, the outside quarter panel, behind the rear tire on the outside. And that is going to be the first yellow of the evening, 10 laps into this show. So already 20 minutes into the broadcast, Braden Movick didn't get out on the racetrack quick enough when the show started, so Movick's going to come around and get a lap back here. Only 1 lap behind the rest of the field at this point then. And why not get a little bit of in-race reporting, and let's go ahead and bring it with the peak onboard and the peak onboard driver of the race, Noah Carmichael. We're going to get a quick interview here. Noah, as we've gone 10 laps into this race, what are you feeling about this car and specifically the tires in the early stages?
I think I have a better chance finding traction on a frozen lake right now. It's just, these tires are so cold on the start, you just need to wait for them to come in. But the only problem is everybody else is like, I need to get in the top 10 now or we're done. So it's pretty much just holding on. I messed up in qualifying, so I'm just kind of stuck in the hornet's nest. So yeah, that's where we're at. It's just a matter of waiting for the tires to come in. Hopefully you don't kill them, but it's going to be a rough one, especially in these early stages if we can't get a long run in.
How do you manage them without killing them early? How do you get them up to temperature without scorching them?
Don't slide. Be careful on the throttle coming back on. if you are too eager to get back on the gas, you're just going to slide corner exit and you're just going to eat it going into turn 3. So just a matter of trying to keep the car under you as much as you can and not just overdriving every corner.
Fair enough. Well, I'll let you get back to it here, Noah. Thank you for popping up in with us. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and whoops, and out of there, because we are coming back to green. Noah Carmichael marred back a little bit in the field, 14th position right now. Joshua Chin brings us back to the restart. Lap 13 starts off, and the 93s led the whole way through. Little battle here into the first corner for Kendall Carpenter on the inside of Jacob Wilkerson. Coming out of turn number 2, down the back chute. Whole slew of cars all over the place. Harry Grinnell having a good start of the show tonight in the 70 machine. Mo Perry was complaining a lot about getting that car to behave, getting off of work about an hour before the race started, coming in, getting this thing figured out. Mo Perry sits 7th place. Definitely a solid start to the evening for someone with, maybe relatively speaking, not as much practice on this racetrack as the rest of them. But Josh Chin just has this whole thing under control. Wilkerson and Kendall Carpenter pushing the envelope for 2nd place. Cole Frelick's peeking a nose on the outside. Doesn't look like it's going to go through there. Presenting sponsor of the Princeton Drugstores 150 is the driver of this number 15 Budweiser machine. And Grindel behind him. Little battle back here on the outside of the top 10. You got Nate Stewart in the 6-7, and the Chris Pervalarikis in the 49 black and red car. Then Nolan Sanford on the outside. The Realtree machine. It's a dandy-looking race car with the white and pink on it. You got Brett Bennett in there, the 06 car, Mobil One sponsored, Jasper Transmissions machine. Spencer Ray making his way up through the field in the 9 car, already up to 14th on the grid. Looking for more on Nolan Sanford here. Your nice little mid-pack race with the Viagra number 9 inside the GM Performance Parts Team Realtree number 52. Sanford almost up into the wall there. The driver moving up a little bit. Jonathan Oates making the way with that 73, the OSRL machine. And if you listen in a little bit, you're going to once in a while hear some engine notes that don't make much sense. So there's a current glitch inside of the iRacing simulator where the engine revs get a little bit higher than they probably realistically ever would. But you'll hear them sometimes depending what camera angle we have in the corner. So just watching along. The rest of the field here, looking at the sort of back end, middle of the pack. That 02 car, that is John Daniels. Red, black, and yellow on that Chevy. And then the number 7, Levi Wolf, the Xerox car right there too. Ruby Estes in the 17. John Felber, that's kind of the top 20 positions. And back up to Josh Chin in the 93 car. Holding about 0.6 of a second in between first and second, consistently over Jacob Wilkerson in the 43. Petty blue with STP orange on the side, or red. Depends if you're colorblind. I am, but not for that color. We've lost a few drivers out here. Gavin Newton's pitted at the 48 car. Stephen Gibson, Shane Sweeney, not out on the racetrack. And we're watching Griffin Jones here, 24th place. You just got a bunch of cars all over this racetrack. And Josh Chin yet to come up on lap traffic, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get there soon. We've only lost Stephen Gibson, actually. It looks like Braden Movick and Gavin Newton are out on him. Michael Deitch, not out on the racetrack. It's down the backstretch. We're getting out of the beginning of this race, and as Gavin's having some trouble here, it looks like the 48's coming back to pit road. We move into the middle section of this race, which is going to take plenty of time. We will be 25 laps into 150. That is going to be 1/6 of the way through the event. Back to Frelick in 4th place. we're actually, why don't we go on to the nose cam of the 15 machine. So we ride on board with Freilich, following Kendall Carpenter, see how close we get to the tail of this Ford. Home Depot Ford, wait a minute. What's that about? Nice. And out of here. Maybe to a chopper cam. Let's see what we get. There's Freilich. Funny enough, Cole Freilich, a little bit of a designer with taking some base paints and throwing them onto vehicles in iRacing, designed both of these cars onto this template for these cars in iRacing. So Freilich's racing his own car here for third place. The gap from fourth to fifth has jumped to 3 seconds. So Grindel in a little battle here with Chris Downey, who was fastest in practice. They are significantly slower than the guys in front there. Nate Stewart has cracked back into the top 10 in the SimRap markets, number 6.7, around the outside of William Schmidt. William Schmidt, the Season 9 defending champion of this series, running in 10th place currently. We're going to have to see how we get through this race as a single broadcaster and plenty of time. This is the hump for these drivers in the championship. This is race 7 of 15, so actually the hump's the next race. At race 8, they will be hitting the dead center of this championship season. Nate Stewart around the outside here. Stewart missed a race in this season so far, but still sits in third place in the championship with Kiani in fourth. Nathan Kiani. Where is Nathan Kiani? Let's check in. Gotta find him. I don't actually see Nathan Kiani. Can I sort this? Where is he? Nope, I don't know. There is that sound I was talking about. You're catching the audio and you hear the scream of the cars as if it's way higher than normal. Down into the turn and out again. Nice Jerry Nadeau throwback for Jack Painter in the 97. Looking at Grindel for 7th place. Carmichael in 8th here. Or sorry, that's Mo Perry, not Carmichael. There's a blue and yellow 31 and a blue and yellow 32 out on the racetrack. Goes Painter to the inside of Grindel, but doesn't have the momentum Grindel does to get out of there. Turn 4 gives you the opportunity to wind down the wheel, kind of bring your turn down, and then that lets you get more throttle out, more power, more speed off the top side of the corner, which is what Grindel has been using to stay ahead of the 97 car. As you see in the background, Nate Stewart goes way wide, looking for momentum, looking for a different way around this racetrack. And we'll see if anybody follows Nate Stewart up there, not through turns 1 and 2. He's going to cut back in and actually slam the door on William Schmidt there to come back onto the back straightaway. But into 3 especially, they're about 3 wide here. Schmidt alongside Spencer Ray and the 87, 67, 6.76. Goes back to the outside. Now he goes to the way high side of turns 1 and 2. That momentum right there, you see that? There's a gap right there, about 2 car lengths from the result of that. And he loses it going into the turn because of getting slowed down, but then off the corner, really gets the momentum. Jack Painter still troubling Grindel here, and Perry's got to watch out for Nate Stewart as Stewart comes up to the tail of the 31 car. Goes way out, and then off turn 2, the big momentum down the back straightaway. But Nate Stewart's not putting himself in a position where he can get around the 31 car right now. He keeps getting that momentum up, sits on the rear bumper of the 31 car, and there's nowhere to go, so then the run's really just getting burnt off. So I'm not sure if Stewart's trying to bide some time here, or if we're doing something insane, expecting different results different times. There you go. Trying something different this time. To the inside goes Nate Stewart. And it's not going to work. Back up to the front, we've actually missed Joshua Chin starting to drop like a rock here. The 93 car falling back from first down to fifth. Jacob Wilkerson takes over the race lead. Kendall Carpenter into second. And Chin all the way down to fifth. Chris Downey has made the pass, 75 car, fastest in practice. I've said that already, but it's a fast race car here in the night at Richmond. And only driver who's making up time to the front pack is that 75 car, at least in clean air. I'm sure Nate Stewart's actually doing the same, but Stewart's a little bit further back down there. Looks like John Felber, the 03 car, some movement sort of way further down on the grid. Rexford had the onboard. We can go ahead and bring that back. The check it for Andretti onboard. It's almost soothing riding on board with these cars. Kendall Carpenter, your second place driver, has a whole straightaway of loss from Jacob Wilkerson, 2.5 second lead, and then Cole Frelick's right there on the outside. And see the pace has really slowed down for these drivers as Frelick stays on the outside. Chris Downey might be the one who really worked the tires well to start, as Downey making time up, and you can just see visibly the speed difference as there's a car in the wall. I saw damage, saw a car up front. That was the 57 of Michael Deitch. Michael Deitch comes off turn 2, goes to the inside, gets a little loose, and the 57 car hits the wall and will have to head into the pit lane. We've already lost Stephen Gibson and Gavin Newton in this race, and Deitch is now parking, and he's going to have to get that car worked on. We stay green, though. Got off the racetrack. And that's another one that bites the dust. Lap traffic coming into play here for Jacob Wilkerson as he's already gotten around Shane Sweeney. Now looks at the 4 car of Adam Harrington. Harrington we haven't really talked about much since the beginning with that Remington car. But Jacob Wilkerson in a league of his own right now. Coming up on a third of the way into this race. Kendall Carpenter, Cole Frelick behind. And Chris Downey. Josh Tinn's kind of just staying in a single spot in the purple and white, number 93. Sitting about 5 seconds behind the leader. Seems to be contending, but not necessarily biting back into the lead. So 93 car evidently lost a bunch of time in itself and is not able to really chip away at it that hard. We still are only a third of the way into this race. There's plenty of time for things to change. Possible yellow flags to follow. Nice. Just get a little noise. Grindell, Schmidt, Spencer Ray, 10th, 11th, 12th here. This is a nice little battle with Isaac Johnson and Braden Movick in the mix. Movick actually a lapped car in there, but Isaac Johnson sitting 13th right now, the 33 car, originally a California representative, the racecraft number 33, in behind Movick, the lapped machine, and into the wall there actually on the back straightaway. Spencer Ray goes to the outside line in the 9 car. Little bit of that, little bit of that problem with the audio. Little issues. Jack Painter. Nice looking race car. And the pass going down, Jonathan Oates to the inside of Nate Stewart. Not sure if Nate Stewart's line around the outside is helping or hurting those tires, because it's more racetrack and more speed. Hall and Oates on the inside. 2 throwback DEI schemes of varying types. And through goes Oates into 8th place. There's Wilkerson back up at the front. Just checking in. So this is the battle on the racetrack. This is really where the excitement's coming down. And it's coming down with a lapped car. Brindell actually, looks like Movik's passing them. Movic came out a little bit later, maybe got some extra tires at some point. And so Movic is actually, though the lapped car, faster than the rest of these guys. Brindell's got trouble from Schmidt on the outside. Isaac Johnson back into the wall again. And this is going crazy. Yeah, that's good stuff. Brindell, 10th place. Nice little battle. Inside the first third, into the middle third of this race, 55 laps in. Freilich on the outside of Downey, as Downey's making a bid for 3rd place. Budweiser, number 15, holding on for the time being, but the High Rock Vodka, number 75, on the inside. Check back in with the driver in the peak on board, number 32, Noah Carmichael, back in 16th place here. That's the 06 of Brett Bennett in front, Mobil 1 on the rear end of it. Jacob Wilkerson still up way up front, and they're about 4 wide in front of us here as that really interesting crew now get around Adam Harrington, the lap number 4 car. They were about 4 wide in the first set of turns. And Spencer Ray through on the outside of Grindell. Grindell might have used those tires up a little more than some of the others in this crew. William Schmidt putting a little bit of a gap in between himself and the rest of this trio. Into the wall again there. Isaac Johnson just keeps doing that. Very interesting. It's not really, I guess it's no harm, no foul, but if you do that enough, does the car get damaged? Will there come a point where Isaac Johnson's machine runs maybe a little bit less well, comparatively speaking? They come up on another lapped car. That is the Shane Sweeney-driven number 22 on the racetrack, 122 on your timing and scoring. And Apex Action Racing Photography car will go to the way high side and let everybody through with no trouble, as best as he can at least. Nice. That's Griffin Jones in the 66. Griffin 22nd. 23rd, excuse me. Lapped car, though. There's your leader, Jacob Wilkerson. Actually just randomly picked Griffin Jones, and that is the first car 1 lap down on the racetrack. So lap 62 will start for Wilkerson. Lap 61 will start for Griffin Jones. And we still just have a easy race up front. Our tire management, big talking point coming in. I am sure we are all just in a stage of let's conserve the rubber. For reference, our leader's best lap of the race so far is a 22.143. And the last couple laps have all been 23.1s, like high ones, 1.8, 1.7. So we are over a second slower per lap right now than we were at our fastest so far. speaks to the tire management that is going on across the whole field, but Wilkerson really doing a good job of managing that, as Cole Freilich maybe starting to struggle a little bit, lost third to Chris Downey, who now sets the sights on the 20 car of Kendall Carpenter. Got to try to give myself some breaks of talking while we do this, because it's a long race and I'm the only person in the booth. To the inside. Here we go. We'll pass there. Will the cutback work for Kendall Carpenter? Negative. Chris Downey, something's figured out in this machine. We've got a new runner-up driver in this race. Slowly picked away at it. We are not even halfway through this. And up to second. Great position if we see a yellow. And when we may inevitably also see green flag pit stops. Going to the inside of the 84 car, that is Andreas Veras. Brought out the first yellow. The Kyle Busch 84 car, first car that Kyle Busch ran in the Sprint Cup Series at the time. Out of the way of Cole Freilich as well, who's running in fourth place. Freilich's kind of reeling this group together now as they come up behind the number 17 machine. Ruby Estes scored as the 117. 21st position, 1 lap down. And second place is going to go through on the inside, Chris Downey. Now, Chris Downey's still got a 5.3 second gap to Wilkerson in front. So the field comes through. You see the number 122 coming out of the pits there, Shane Sweeney. It's only a matter of time. We've got to get past halfway first, but I anticipate lap traffic. I'm anticipating some pit stops. But you can get through a bit of this if you manage the tires. You can run, and that's what we've been doing. That's what Chris Downey's done better than everybody else. You can see there's already about a second gap in between Downey and Carpenter, between second and third place here. So that's cool. On board with Kendall Carpenter into the first turn. You can see Griffin Jones in the 66 getting passed by Chris Downey. The strategy for the middle of this race is so evident right now. It is just conserving tires and getting towards the end of the show. Really no contention, not any strong opposition from Freilich or Carpenter as Downey moved through. Maybe they're anticipating him to burn up the rubber a little bit quicker. But I will also call out, kind of sneaking his way up here, Jonathan Oates is up to 5th place in the 73, doing a fantastic job of managing that car and running himself now into the top 5. Got past Joshua Chin. A little blink there out of Ruby Estes behind the lap car. There goes the 4, Adam Harrington into the pits. And this high line is, there goes Josh Chin, one of, if not your first of the lead lap cars to commit to a pit stop, 2 laps short of the halfway point of this race. Here comes the 93. Harrington, lap car, goes to the pit lane. And does this bring the rest of them? Wilkerson does not. Carpenter, Downey, and Freilich do not. So a little bit of a different strategy for Josh Chin. Come in a little bit early. Maybe will this undercut work, or will it not? Oates through the inside of Freilich, 4th place for the 73 car. Looking for Carpenter next. What a fantastic run. You get all the way into these tires, and Oates is just eating the rest of these guys up. I mean, he's running lap times that are consistent with the rest of them, but just every once in a while it works, and Cole Freilich commits to a pit stop here right past halfway. Jack Painter is going to hit the road as well, hit the pit road, that is, in the 97 car. So we've started to see the switches. Is Wilkerson next? What's going to happen with Kendall Carpenter? What's going to happen with Jonathan Oates and Chris Downey as the 20 pits from what was barely third over the 73 car? Oates' car is running really good. Do you stay out or do you pit to stay on the tire strategy of the rest of your competitors? That's the big question. Because Oates' car is running really nice right now. I think this might be a committed pit stop here. You're right. Yep, that comes a 73 car down to the pit road. Wilkerson has hit the pit lane too, was leading the race, commits to this one. Carmichael down there. Pervalarikis down there. And Chris Downey has adopted the race lead. There's Spencer Ray in the 9. Goes around the outside. Here comes the 75 car. Mo Perry is going to adopt the race lead in the 31. Yep, just barely leads that lap, so that would be a bonus point for the 31 car. Valuable for the championship. Chris Downey coming down the pit lane. Braden Movick there on the outside of Noah Carmichael. Carmichael coming out right in front of Wilkerson, but Wilkerson's basically got the 32 in a spot of getting that car lapped down. Wilkerson in and out in front of the rest of the drivers. There's Mo Perry right behind. Just staying on the lead lap is look out for Braden Movick. Slow out through the middle of the turn there. And this is another thing you got to think about when you commit to pitting in this cycle is do you come out behind cars that have old tires and you've got to work your way around them like this. It was a close call for Wilkerson last time through turns 1 and 2 and loses some time out with those tires. Don't want to get them too warm either. Carmichael going around the outside. Last cars to pit. We have yet to see Mo Perry. We've yet to see John Daniels. We've yet to see Levi Wolf and Nolan Sanford and Brett Bennett. Corey Rexford pitted in the first yellow. So Corey's going to be able to go a little bit further than anybody else here. Currently sitting in 6th place. Mo Perry just running those tires. These are the tires he started the race on. And it's just got to throw some sort of different setup on this. Do something different. Got 28 cars out on the racetrack. We've lost Michael Deitch, Gavin Newton, and Steven Gibson so far. And the rest of them, Adam Harrington here, running last on the racetrack. 3 laps down to the leaders. Ruby Estes there in the 17 car. Ruby sits 2 laps down. There's Mo Perry. And right behind is the 75 car. Super fast out there. John Daniels running second in the 02 right here. On screen, haven't talked a lot about John Daniels and haven't talked about Levi Wolf very much either. Beautiful looking race car here. The 0X number 7 throwback to Jeff Bodine, I believe, was the driver of that car back in the 90s. So as I say that, a yellow flag will come out. And this is going to be for who? Who's the yellow for? We're going to have to check that out. So, second caution of the night. Comes set half the race distance after the first one. And the question would be, are we going to see that happen again, or are we going to see it come back real quick? Gulp. Try to bring someone down in here to talk, and I think we're going to take Cole Freilich quickly. Cole Freilich, got you in the booth here. What is going on for this yellow flag? Missed it on the screen. Why are we under yellow?
Apparently, Corey got into Jacob and the leader wrecked, but a lot of us who just pitted were around, and I don't know, man. There was happenings. I was running like net P3, so we're having a good night finally. But
Well,
yeah,
you've
we'll
been
come
up
back
there
to
all
that.
night.
We'll get through the field. It's no big deal.
Been up there all night. You haven't been outside the top 5 much. But we were
Don't you
kind of
put that
following.
evil on me.
I mean, hey, that's what
With how the
happens.
season's going.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What was going on with the tire strategy there? I mean, Chris Downey held it out. Mo Perry held it out long. Do you think that helps them long term or what?
Well, I think this really helps them in the aspect of we had that yellow, so that's going to really help them. But I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a game of checkers right now. A lot of those guys did benefit from the caution. But also, I mean, there's guys like me, Chin, and all of us that will get the wave around. We're all racing pretty good, and we're still on fairly fresh tires. So
Yes, but you're going to be stuck behind a couple guys who just pitted. Very interesting. All right, well, I'll send you back up to the booth area. Good, thanks for jumping in with us here on this caution flag break.
yeah, man, you drive safe, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, you drive safe too, man.
Will.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, let's talk to one of the drivers who stayed out. Let's go ahead and bring one of those. Oh, he's mid-sentence with his crew members there. Sorry, John. I just wanted to get your take here on the broadcast live because you seem to have lucked out on this yellow flag situation here with the tires.
I'm very unlucky. I played the strategy perfectly. I'm second. I'm going to have the second or third best tires in the whole field. Let's go get them.
That sounds good. Just sounds exciting, John. Was this just what you were expecting or what you were anticipating for this yellow? You were just, when you were holding out on those tires, this is what you were waiting for?
Short answer, yes. Long answer is I had the tires. I just didn't know if I was going to have the time to run down Mo Perry to keep the lead on the cycle. But oh well.
Well, give it a try now. I'll send you back up to get back to strategizing with your teammates here before the restart. Good luck the rest of the way, John.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a
Thank you
plan.
for the call-up.
Yep, you got it. There's John Daniels throwing in his take as we get the one-to-go signal from Barney in the flag stand. Get ready for another restart here. Do cautions breed cautions? When we get this far into the race, there's 60 laps to go. Chris Downey up front with holding out on the tires and then running them down a little bit. Mo Perry on the outside of the first row. Lucks out, gets to stay up there when the caution flag flew. Same for John Daniels and Levi Wolf. So a little bit of a shake-up here in who's running up front. Brett Bennett, Nolan Sanford in there behind. And the green flag comes back out. Only driver out on the racetrack that hasn't pitted within the last 20 laps is Braden Movick from 7th, and Brett Bennett is going to spin in front of everybody. And the caution flag stays out as he just sat still to wait for the field to go through. We can catch a replay back of that, although we kind of saw it there on the screen. Just into the corner on his own. One more back. A little wiggle there from Levi Wolf on the outside, but that actually frees up more space for the 06 car. He just brought in more speed into the corner than the 02 and got a little bit nervous in the middle of turns 1 and 2. And then the car is going to go around on him. He's just going to lock it down. Everybody does a fantastic job of getting past this without any issues. Ruby Estes picks a different lane at the last second there, but everybody's around this, no trouble. And the 06 car, the only damage is maybe to the... Oh, holy mackerel, a whole bunch of cars coming in. Maybe the only damage is damage to the ego of the driver of the 06 car. Maybe some flat spots on the tires as well. A couple drivers coming into the pit lane. Jack Painter, William Schmidt, Harry Grindel. Interesting take. Chris Pervalarkis, Noah Carmichael, and Jonathan Oates. Oates with the long run car. Really interesting to see this 73 car come into the pit lane. See who else is around here. As that spin from Brett Bennett is going to enable a couple drivers to come in and pit. And as they come back around and get back out onto the racetrack, Why not? Let's take an opportunity to talk to a driver who capitalized on that. Noah Carmichael, we got you up in the booth here. You came down the pit lane. What did you refresh on this car after such a short run, as in literally 2 corners from the last yellow?
4 tires. I'm hoping to make some sort of difference. That's pretty much just where we're at. I've been stuck back in the hornet's nest. I'm not able to get out of it, and I just keep getting stung. So pretty much just 4 tires, and hopefully that fixes something.
Did you run out your tires all the way to this point, or how many sets of tires do you have left the rest of the way here?
I'm not saying that. You don't know who's watching.
Fair enough. How many did everybody start with?
I believe we had 3 extra sets, so a total of 4.
Well, with more than half the race getting run through there with no yellows, you could be in good shape here. I'll let you get back to it, get ready to strategize a restart here. They're almost wrecking in front of you here on the pace laps.
And that's what I need. I need them to wreck you a couple more times.
Fair enough. Thank you, Noah. Thank you. Good stuff. Noah Carmichael, he's honest. You can't say he won't tell it to you straight, because he will. He will tell it to you straight. I can confirm. I know Noah. He's my friend. Chris Downey leads the way. Pace truck pulls off. Mo Perry to the outside. John Daniels. Jack's brother John goes from the second row as the green flag comes back out. Yeah, a little bit of shit show going back here. Don't know if I'm allowed to say that with the OSRL broadcasts. Joshua Chin, right in the middle there, 3 wide. Kendall Carpenter, Cole Freilich. And we'll see if this mess kind of starts to eat into the drivers who capitalized on the yellows, because the cream kind of rises to the top here. And with about 50 laps left in it, who knows what's going to happen. But Josh Chin, Cole Freilich, Nate Stewart, they're trying to pull their way back into the top 5. And look who's in third place, Braden Movick, on a 96-lap stint, and the yellow flag comes back out again. And who is this? Who is this one for? To check it back. I think it might be the 84 car. Nope, actually, I'm thinking it's Spencer Ray. Hit the replay button, see what we can find. You know what? Unfortunately, oh, okay, I was scared we weren't going to find anything. There it is. That's the contact. Spencer Ray, across William Schmidt, across Griffin Jones. Basically a single car incident. Nice hard lick on the inside there as the car's going to disappear from the screen. Spencer Ray just out of the corner. One more time, right on the outside of Noah Carmichael. He called it. He said, give me more yellows. And Spencer Ray is going to hand one to him. Just one more quick back look as Spencer Ray gets it loose. A solid correction. I wouldn't say an overcorrection from Spencer, but just a cross. Unfortunately, couldn't really keep it down, and Spencer Ray slides into the inside wall. Nice lick there for the 9. Going to get that car repaired and get back out onto the racetrack here. 100 laps into this race. So we will cross 50 laps to go. Chris Downey in the lead. Mo Perry and Braden Movick still holding on to the top 3 positions. There's only a handful of drivers sitting in the Discord here. So, take a quick moment. I'm actually going to hand out the first Ouch Award of the night to Spencer Ray. So let's get the 9 car back up on the screen. And your first Ouch Award will go to the driver of the Viagra Ford.
Ouch.
Spencer sits 20th. And the pace lights go out. Re-rack and restack. We will come back with 48 laps to go. Mo Perry still sitting on the outside of the first row. this top group, they have not changed in order, at least not yet. Nate Stewart lurks. He started on the outside of row number 1. Did not get a good start at all. Got really loose into the first corner. Has been slowly ticking away at getting back up here. And now he sits 6th. Last time's winner at Mossport, Josh Chin behind him. Cole Freilich, the Season 8 champion, on the inside down low. Almost sister cars as the green flag comes back out. And into the turn, about 3 wide back there. Saw the Oates, number 73 car. And Sanford's going to go down the inside of Mo Perry, and so will Nate Stewart. Perry in the 31 car. Power across the hood. One of the Noble 5. Same for the 67. Stewart. So Nolan Sanford. I love the font on the side of this car. It's a standard font for Sanford across a couple different racing leagues that he's in. And he runs 3rd. Movic now up into 2nd. 102 lap stint. At least that's what iRacing is telling me with that 42 car. I almost don't believe it because he's actually running so well. Nate Stewart trying to go for 3rd here on Sanford. Freilich trying to go for 5th behind him on Mo Perry. Josh Chin looking. Kendall Carpenter in behind there as well. The drivers who dominated the leading stages of this race, they are slowly making their way back up there. Kendall Carpenter, Jonathan Oates, who was strong, especially at the end of the first full tire run. Now Freilich makes a pass through there for 6th place. Actually, was trying to defend Josh Chin and Kendall Carpenter as we got a yellow flag out on the racetrack. And this one's going to be Josh Painter involved in the 97 car. Let's go back and see what happens here. If we can get it, unfortunately. So Painter in front of Isaac Johnson there, the 12 car. Loosey-goosey on the outside. Actually, oh boy. What the heck? Did he keep it off the wall? The yellow came out already, and no, he does not keep it off the wall. A little bit of contact for the 97, and that's where we lose him. But the heck was that? With the 12 car. Jeez. Emery Spence. Yeah, that was just across the nose. I mean, kind of weird. Just a weird incident. Well, the Iron Outlaw number 49 car out there. Tough break. Tough break for the Jordan sponsor number 12. Emery Spence for getting that one riled up. Jack Painter coming off of a nice run at Mossport and coming into this one in the Noble 5 run for an extra $25 this late in the race. That's not at all what Painter would have wanted to see. Check back up in at the front. Nolan Sanford there in 3rd place. Movic 2nd. Chris Downey still holds on to 1st place. Good looking race car. Great looking race cars across the board. This is a fantastic body to have inside of this simulator. And a lot of these guys just do a great job of putting together a really cool throwback, vehicle-inspired something. The OSRL house car looking like Steve Park. Nate Stewart and Cole Freilich running Dale Jr. liveries. The Skinner, number 31, which in my opinion, I personally think is probably my favorite Lowe's car of all time. This is the one-off equivalent from when he raced it in Japan, but the standard version, quite good. Yeah. Actually, no, this is not, because the version that was in Japan had green on it. My apologies. I was wrong. Oh well. Well, here we go. Back to double file. Back to the line. Down to 40 laps to go. And Chris Downey will lead us back. Here we go. Braden Movick on the outside. Oh, big slide out of Noah Carmichael coming back to the line there. Man, what a mess. Low camera angle here. Out of the corner, showing you a little bit of movement throughout all of them. 3 wide. Jonathan Oates down the inside of Josh Chin and Cole Freilich here. Freilich's holding on to 6th place by running that momentum up there. Slide out of the 73 car. Nice battle as Mo Perry gets involved in this. Sucked in by the 15. Freilich's going to hit it, and a yellow flag comes out again. This time I think it's for John Felber. It is. Tough break, the Oho number 03. Let's see what happened to this one, if we can. Coming out of turn number 4, you're going to see the 03 car absolutely lost it all on his own. And John's going to slide across and down, and the yellow's going to come out as the car is going to disappear from our angle, but just sideways. Tough break there for Felber, as all on his own brings out a yellow here inside of 40 laps to go. That, unfortunately for us, is going to delay things a little bit getting to the end of this race. The Princeton Drugstore's 150 as the 03 car comes into the pits. 10:07 p.m. Thursday, October 30th. Tomorrow's Halloween. Tomorrow is my friend Jaron's birthday. Throw a happy birthday to Jaron out on the broadcast as a couple of people come into the pits. Corey Rexford's been sitting down here for quite some time. 25 laps down. Or 25 laps down to the car in front of him, actually. 28 laps down fully. Spence comes back out. Wolf comes back out. And then the 03 as well. So Felber going to join the tail of the field, but takes the opportunity to get a little bit of service to that machine. Chris Downey going to lead the way past the line here. And we're actually going to, as we've got at least 2 more laps to go around this, we are going to cut the audio for just a second and take a 30-minute identification breather, as in no identification, it's literally just a breather. And we'll come back with the restart here on the broadcast. All right, thank you for sticking with us through that little breather break. Lap 117 will start us back on the restart. What a good time this is going to be. Here we go. Nolan Sanford on the outside. Nate Stewart's in a much better position this time as the green comes back out. A little bit of a slide, but no wheel spin for the 75 car off of there, and we are back at it again. Nate Stewart up into second. know that car's fast, so this is going to be interesting to see if he can capitalize. Sanford's going to have to hold off a hungry crew with Mo Perry behind. Jonathan Oates looking low in the 73 car. Oates got a good race car underneath him. That really could be, if you put that car in a good position, I would watch out. I think that 73 car's quick. I don't know if he's quick enough and consistent enough to get and stay in front of the 93 and the 15 especially. Nate Stewart back in the swing of things. Second place, Chris Downey out there. The tire stint is about 10 laps fresher for Stewart than for Downey. Same for Sanford. He's only at about 32 laps worth. Nate Stewart's got a few ahead, and Chris Downey's up to 41 laps on these tires now, so not too big of a difference, but could play a factor by the end of this. You can go to the end from here. Josh Chin looked like he got tight out of turn number 2. Mo Perry's going to look to go back down the inside. For someone who wasn't getting the hang of this car, what was that, 2 hours ago? Mo Perry is doing a fine dandy job in 6th place. And inside of 30 laps to go, Chris Downey leading the way, Nate Stewart behind. Can check in with Noah Carmichael and our peak on board. Racing with Harry Grindell here in the 70 car. Staying to the inside. Got to work the wheel there. You can see Noah kind of counter-steering that car out of the corner. And looking to the inside of Grindell. This is Isaac Johnson right in front of the 33 car. Oh! Nice save, Noah. But he's not going to be happy about that because he's going to be spinning the tires. He's going to be warming them up and losing the rubber, lose the grip that he's got. And losing position. Spencer Ray looking to the outside. Jack Painter right there as well. I'll tell you what, Jacob Wilkerson really had this race under control for so long, and now he's stuck hard in traffic. That was what Noah was talking about when we talked to Noah in the yellow. You get stuck in the traffic and you just can't go anywhere. Even if you have as good of a car as we know that 43 is, as Mo Perry hella hard into the wall. Oh, damn. And the yellow's going to have to come out for Mo. Right? Oh, man. I feel so bad. I do not want to have jinxed that for Mo Perry. Freilich into third now. I wonder what happened. I wonder what happened to the 31 car. What a tough break, man. He really was doing a good job. After talking before the race, not having the practice, got this whole way into it. But, you know, you want to get to the end of a 150-lap race, you got to hit 150 laps. Not necessarily perfect. Noah Carmichael kind of showed that, but you can't make mistakes. And unfortunately, I think Mo Perry bit the dust, and that's going to be the end of it, contention-wise, for the win for the 31 team. And you've got Nate Stewart slowly but surely edging away into the lead of Chris Downey. Back past the line again. They're coming up on 20 laps to go. These lap times are a little bit more up in the time area we would have expected. These are close to the best lap times of the race. We're running about 22.6s at the front of the field, with the best laps being in the 22 flats and 22 ones. Gap past the line that time. It was a little under a half a second. And this time, just a little bit over a half second. So actually lost time that time through for the SimRap Markets number 67 or 6.7 on track. 6-7. Freilich in third place in the 15 car. Josh Chin holding on to 4th, Kendall Carpenter to 5th. Really, it's the usual suspects from the beginning stages of this race back up at the front. Jonathan Oates there in the 73. A hell of a run for Jonathan Oates tonight to get all the way back up into the contention of this one. Top 5 in sights. Really had to move up through the field to get here. And the Steve Park Tribute OSRL house car looking dandy right now. Carpenter to the inside of Joshua Chin. 4 race wins out of 6 so far. Kendall Carpenter. I don't know if I'd say putting the block on, but I was tempted to. Through 1 and 2 right there, Chin was not making a move on the 20 car. And Hall and Oates right behind might be able to put something together too. A little cut back there. Looking to the inside. Stewart's still got about a half second behind Chris Downey as a yellow flag comes out. And it is not for Mo Perry. Is it Spencer Ray this time? Yes. All right, let's hit this replay button and see what happened to the number 9 car. Second time this car is going to be involved in an accident here. Ooh, goodness. Chris Pervalarikis in the Checker Shucks Cragen Iron Outlaw themed number 49 car, and then also John Felber, who's already been involved in an accident this evening. Goes into the corner. We're okay so far, actually. Is this netcode? Nope, that's not netcode. That is contact. It's a little bit up the racetrack for the 49 car, and Spencer Ray goes around. And then Felber and Bennett get into it as well, and then can't get this woed down hard into the outside wall for Spencer Ray. A 360 for the 49 car. Does Levi Wolf get in this? No. Man, not too bad. We really could have had. That could have been much worse. But the driver involved in this accident is someone we can bring in the booth and get a shout in with. So we're going to bring Spencer Ray up into the booth. Spencer, you're involved in this caution late in this race. I'm sure you're not too happy about how that went down. Oh, wait a minute. He can't talk. Can I give him permissions to do that? Why does Spencer Ray not have... interesting. Spencer Ray does not have the ability to jump on the broadcast. And maybe it's for the best. He wouldn't seem very happy about what's going on here. He's got the car fixed up somewhat. Back out on the racetrack here. Tough gig. Nate Stewart leading the way. Saw some pit stops while under yellow as well. Josh Chin is the leader of the crew who did pit. Jacob Wilkerson right behind in the 43. Chris Downey has fallen back a few spots. So Wilkerson's back in the picture. And then you've got drivers with varying amounts of length on their tires. Felber, Bennett, Jack Painter, and Nate Stewart. Painter with 30 laps on him. 23 on Felber. Nate Stewart almost 50 laps on these tires. Got some yellows to help them. But then you've got a whole slew of drivers who just pitted. Josh Chin, Jacob Wilkerson, Chris Downey, Cole Freilich, Harry Grindell, Kendall Carpenter, Isaac Johnson, Jonathan Oates, Noah Carmichael. Basically everybody backwards from there. So, coming up on 10 laps to go, going to be really interesting to see how it shakes out with new and old rubber. Josh Chin to the inside there. Wilkerson, Felber's just getting out on the high groove, and the yellow flag comes immediately back out. Got John Daniels around on the front stretch, sitting still. And that will definitely get us inside 10 laps to go. off the restart, just not enough momentum. William Schmidt sends the O2 around, but does it because that car's just not getting up to speed as quickly as he needs it to, I guess. Does he get into the wall? No. He did not hit the wall, but he is going to be the cause of the yellow. So he will get caught back up. This is going to help Nate Stewart a lot. Stewart's holding on. And that tire difference isn't going to be quite as impactful as Nate Stewart does have a win so far this season. Was the winner when they went to Chicagoland. Nope, excuse me, that's not correct. That's literally the race he missed. He won at Motegi, race 5 of this season. Has missed one race, which was the one I thought he won for a second there, because, I don't know, dyslexia, something like that. Give me an excuse. I'll take it. And Jack Painter in second. And you've got Wilkerson back there as the other driver. He won when this series went to New Hampshire. The third race of the season. Outside of those two, it's been Josh Chin. So will you see the first person to double up outside of Joshua Chin? Only time will tell, but Nate Stewart. That's your guy. Inside 10 laps to go. We'll have 9 at the line. See him lining up behind. So out of the 32 drivers scheduled to start in this race, we have got 27 of them on the racetrack. Sorry, 26. Movik's been sitting in the pit lane for quite some time. And we're back to it. Great restart. Great restart by the leader at the line. And how about Wilkerson pushing his way through there? There's Brett Bennett stuck in the middle. Josh Chin on the outside. Now he's stuck behind Painter. And Freilic's going to send the nose in. Oh, look out. John Felber around up the racetrack, the 03 car. Where's Felber at? He's okay. We stay green. And Wilkerson down the inside of Painter. And easy clear for the 43 car. Oh, look out. Jonathan Oates around in the back. That's a tough break, and a yellow flag comes back out. Oates goes around. What a tough break. Man, that car's been running really good. Check a replay here, see what happened. A little bit better. Oates is stuck in the crowd right next to Carmichael here, the 32 car. On the outside is Nolan Sanford. And then they're 3 wide. This is going to come from Ruby, I think. Unless it's Schmidt for the second time getting into the tail of someone. He's already sliding there, and it looks like that's on his own. Yep, even though he's surrounded by cars, unfortunately, Jonathan Oates does this one on his own. A 360, keeps the Ford Taurus off the inside wall, commits to a little bit of a spin back, but at least it's not vehicle damage. And Jonathan Oates brings out another yellow for us, and he's going to hit the pit lane to get those tires fixed up. Misses his pit stall, has to hit reverse. There's John Felber, who we saw get into it a little bit. Interesting going on with Oates. Trying to get in the pit. There you go. That's better. Well, we're going to come close to a green-white checkered. I don't think we're going to hit it this time. Are we going to have a green-white checkered? At this point, probably. That's my guess. I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'd put my money on it. Station identification. We are... What's going on? Recommended bit rate is 6,800. All All right, I'm going to try to fix the output up here. I think you guys are seeing things not quite as well. Okay, bit rate has been increased. YouTube's telling me that there was some issues. I apologize if anybody's having technical difficulties watching. Guess this is the opportunity for us to fix that. Apparently we're dropping frames. It's too many race cars. What if we help this a little bit? All right, here we go. So Nate Stewart's going to bring us back, and we're on it. Two to go at the line. Nate Stewart, very easy lead into it. Wilkerson right behind there. Out back onto the stretch here. Wilkerson, Downey, Joshua Chin sits 4th place. Here comes Stewart through the inside. 1 and 2. Wilkerson, big slide. Holding on to Chris Downey. Downey looks down low. Josh Chin, 4th place back there. White flag, this time by. The next flag will end this race as Nate Stewart brings it down into turn number 1 for the final time. Wilkerson looking, the 67. And Downey down the inside, and they're spinning. The leader spins around out of turn number 2 and across the track in a huge crash. On the backstretch, we stay green up at the front. And Wilkerson's going to get it handed to him as Nate Stewart overshot it, and Jacob Wilkerson is going to take the victory at Richmond. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, Jacob Wilkerson put himself in position for that one. A little bit of Rubbins Racing goes a long way there for the 43 car. EPI on the hood, and that is your race winner. He doubles up. Jacob Wilkerson had such control over this race for a little while there in sort of the middle stage. And at the end of it, 43 car. Wouldn't we be proud? What a nice run. What a run through all that. We got to check this one back, though. Yeah, we got to check this one back. So we're going to bring the replay up. All right, backwards. Whoa. Okay. So that's not the winner of the race. So let's get that part fixed. Okay. Into the first turn, there's where Stewart misses the bottom. And then Wilkerson and Downey get down the inside. Downey gets on the quarter panel of the 43. He has to correct that, and as he does, he gets into the 6.7, and around goes Stewart on the backstretch. You see he's not going to lock down the brakes. He's going to slide his car back out in front of everybody. That's kind of on him for that. I can see the frustration, but Wilkerson's on the outside. Actually impressive that he's on the outside of this turn. Downey's on the inside. He stays low. Wilkerson stays in the middle and holds his run with some momentum out of the turn, completely clears the 75 car, and Jacob Wilkerson wins at Richmond at the fault of Nate Stewart's slide. And he's going to be your race winner, and we're going to bring him into the booth and talk to him. We've got Jacob Wilkerson up in the booth, and dude, I would say you got lucked into that, but I don't think you did. I think you were in the right place, right time.
I mean, I can't say it was. In a way, it was a lucky win, and also, in a way, I guess it was pure talent. Also, that whole race was just a roller coaster of emotion for me, in my opinion. After dominating the first half and then getting wrecked after pitting, and then I was like a lap down. I got the lucky dog, got my lap back, and then that one late caution helped me out. I took 2 tires and took the track position and was able to get up there and race for the win, even though I wish me and Nate could have battled it out clean, but I got hit from behind. But it was just, we was all just racing hard for the win. And yeah, it sucks. It's unfortunate that it ended like that for Nate.
Yeah, it is unfortunate for Nate. It was exciting to watch for us, but I want to go back a little bit further in the race, talk about your dominance in the middle stages of this race. How did you have the car to handle and just be so consistent up at the front? I mean, the clean air is going to help you too, but you really were one of the absolute top dogs in the beginning of this race as well.
I honestly, going into this race without any practice, I did not think that I would be that dominant in the clean air that whole most of the run there. Like I was just chilling behind Josh when he was leading for a while there, and I was just running my own pace, and I was just letting the car come to me. And yeah, I ended up getting past him, and basically that whole entire run, I just never looked back the rest of the way.
It was a great run through it, and it's your second win of this season here. And I mean, Jacob, this is a top level performance from you. Talk about running at this high of a position in this racing field. OSRL has a very competitive crew of drivers who showed tonight, like you, Josh, and Chris. You guys, across the board, you've got really strong competition. So what does it mean to be able to take the top step in a situation like this?
It definitely feels good to win these type of races with some decent drivers in here. Like I've been needing to get a win after the past few weeks. I've had a couple of bad finishes, and it feels good to finally get a win and hopefully get back up there in points and possibly get at least top 3 in points.
Yeah, it's a race to reel in Josh Chin. It really is with all the wins he's got. But congratulations to you, Jacob. Anybody else you want to thank and shout out here on the broadcast for your victory tonight?
Yeah, first I just want to thank you for broadcasting along with all the fans watching. Thanks to Jack for putting this league together along with the drivers that come out. And thank you to Race EPI. If you want to get into open setup racing, go check them out. And Team PBR, my team owner is Zach Todriff. I don't know if he's watching, but I asked him if he could watch it. So I don't know if he's watching, but shout out to him. And yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. We'll have a replay back for him even if he wasn't watching live. Thank you for coming out, Jacob, and congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff, and we'll jump back one spot here and bring your runner-up finisher into the booth here, Chris Downey, driver the number 75. Chris, talk me through that last lap, that situation with Stewart going a little long, and things worked out well for you in the end in a general sense, but I don't know if you feel like you left anything on the table or if you kind of got the short end of the stick there.
Yeah, it's a shame what happened. I think, of course, Stewart was on older tires, and he went a little deep, and Wilkerson did too. And I was on 4, and the 43 was on 2 tires. So the way I see it, I was just rolling the bottom. They missed the corner. We all just came together. I don't think it was anybody's fault. Stewart wasn't very happy about it, but, he thinks because he ran a season in the big time, he thinks he knows everything. But that's all right. Ran a great race. Disappointed we got that one of those last cautions there. I thought I could have won. Didn't really work out. But Wilkerson was faster than me at the end. He deserved it. Happy with the P2.
Well, you had a hell of a race car the whole way through the night, though. I mean, that 75 car was hooked up from the beginning to the end, and I think it was really interesting to see you guys like yourself, Wilkerson, even Nate Stewart, because he messed up that first run into the first corner of the race, literally the first turn of the race. You guys really took the whole night and the cycles of the pit stops to come back up to the front. I mean, what do you make of a situation where you have a car that strong in the first stages, you get to that halfway point, the caution and the strategies change things, and then you're right back up there at the end?
Yeah, it was my first ever start, so I hope I left a good impression. I know that incident at the end wasn't ideal, but you just gotta bide your time. Really, I wasn't too fast in the short run, but in the long run, you can really get moves made. So I was just piggybacking off Wilkerson. We were working together a little bit, so he said he was pitting, so I followed him in a lap or two later, and he helped me out a little bit. Me being a little less experienced than him, but it was just it just all played out really well. Wish I could have won, but again, like I said, I'll take a second place. It worked out pretty good.
That's a great first showing for you. Does that mean we're going to see you more regularly with OSRL, coming out and enjoying these runs with a crew of drivers who have a high caliber for good racing like this?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'd like to. It was pretty competitive. I was surprised with how good I was. Hopefully, I can make it last. So come back and do it again.
Heck yeah. Well, anybody else also you want to shout out and thank here, Chris, for putting together a very, very solid run in this High Rock number 75 tonight?
I just saw my teammates, saw my EC Racing teammates, James Usa, James Beaumont, Austin Dorn, Connor Zola, all of them, of course, Wilkerson as well. I mentioned he helped me out. Just all my great teammates helped me out so much. And all these other guys out here have put on a good race. That wasn't too bad. We got some cautions there at the end, but it wasn't bad at all.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you very much for coming out, Chris. Congratulations on P2.
Thank you very much. Y'all going.
Awesome stuff. And final driver from the podium, we get to talk to the madman who holds it down at the very end, Cole Fralick. You kind of got the best seat in the house to watch what happened on that last lap. Walk us through it.
Well, there were cars crashing, Joe. I was scared.
Mm-hmm.
I was peeing myself.
I hope that's a metaphor.
It is a metaphor because
Okay,
I'm actually going to the bathroom right after this. But yeah, I was very scared. I wanted to make the Noble, man. I haven't had the fancy red stuff on my car all season long, and it's been pissing me off. And I finally made the Noble 5, so I'm happy. I think every track should be a short track. With the 2 short tracks we've done, I finished 2nd and 3rd. I'll take it.
Well, walk me through this race tonight. We talked before the show about tire strategy and making them last, and we had basically the first half of the race went green. We had 1 caution and then a 76 lap run right after it. I mean, we got half the race in on 1 run. Walk me through your strategy with the tires, and do you think you managed it to a degree that got you into a good position at the end there?
I don't know, because I feel like on the long run I was really good. There were definitely cars way faster than me because Jonathan Oates scared the crap out of me. He just, I don't know. He pulled a Joe Hendry